We in this together with Brother D. Today I'm with the young brother Derrick Pope. Young brother, film director. In fact, he do this show. We in this together now. And before we open a discussion, I want to just say a few things about the power of film directing, man, and the power of being a rapper and how much power that control. Listen, man, you can take some of the greatest black leaders that ever lived, Booker T. Washington, Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, whoever you want to name, and we know for a fact that history bear witness that these men changed America, had an impact on changing the world. But today, the most important people in creating the images of black folks, the images of black male, and who got the ear of the people are the brothers that make movies, the brothers that's in the entertainment, the brothers that's rapping. They carry most of the weight now. And I want to say to all those that's into this business of rapping, entertainment, and film and movies, I want to say to y'all, man, that y'all got the power to change the destiny of our people. Let me explain to you what I'm talking about. See, when rap took over, when rap took the scene, hip-hop, and NWA and all the new jack rappers that come after Public Enemy, KRS-One, Sister Soldier, and them, they created the culture. They created what we think. They created how we talk to each other. They created how we dress. They created how we see ourselves and interact with the world. People ain't running around here talking about I'm a gangster and I'm a thug because they just popped out their mother's womb and came up with that. It's because the people in the entertainment field have been given leadership. And that's why young people follow. But this is the bad thing about it. Because if you're an artist, you're supposed to have an outstanding imagination. This is the characteristics of being an artist, is imagination. But your imagination is not in full effect when you continue to show me what I already see. See, everybody know about thug and drug dealing, gangsterism, hustling and all that. That's going on all across the country in every neighborhood. So when you come and put that same thing on the big screen and just show a different twist to it, because if you look at New Jack City, Paid in Full, Menace to Society, The Game Is Not to Be Sold, all those movies reflect the same thing. Just a different twist to it. It's all the same thing but a different twist. So the imagination is not maximized. Imagination is when you can paint a picture that I don't see until you paint it, until you give it to me. So what I'm saying to all artists, especially those in Flint, that you have a chance to change the game. You ain't got to keep showing us what we already see. Show us some things that we don't even believe that's possible until you paint the picture for us. See, it's possible that we can come together in our communities and begin to serve ourselves, run the stores in our community, do the nails in our community, own the businesses in our community. That's possible. It could happen. And I challenge some of you artists in Flint to paint that picture. And if you paint it long enough, people begin to believe that it can happen and make it happen. Because America allowed us to paint that gangster thug picture long enough. And we know everybody believe they're a gangster or thug. What you think about that, brother?
You know, like you said, like an artist, they got a lot of power, like a lot of Flint music. And a lot of music, period, ain't even just in Flint, but Flint really, because it's our city. We need to, you know, attack our city, get with the artists in our city. Everybody talking about shoot 'em up, bang, bang, a bad beat, the Negroes, we in the hood, let's get this crack, we in the trap. You know, when you staying different and be yourself, you know, it's a hard obstacle because that's all a lot of people know, like these young kids today. I'm at Southwestern yesterday, I just see a lot of young kids that got bright minds, but the music they listening to corrupting our minds, corrupting our imagination. Like you said, that's all we see on TV, that's all we know. So they go by, oh, she a bad bee instead of she a queen, she a woman, he a king, oh, that's my nigga. You know, that's not my brother. So like, music has a powerful effect on the generation these days because it's all about vibrations and the words that we speaking out. And so a lot of young people, older people don't know this, and some do, but they still choose to listen to these things. But some, we all have a choice. I can't say some don't have a choice because we all have a choice, but it's some all know. So we gotta really, like you say, challenge the artists to be different and stand out. We need different music. We don't need to hear the same, oh, I got a gun and I shoot you to all this. We need something different, something about life, something uplifting. Like you say, back in the day, that's when they started, when the rap scene after Public Enemy, NWA, that was the image for them to push to us. That's all they wanted to push to us. They didn't want us to be the uprighteous people that we need to be. They wanted us to be them niggas in the hood with the crack, doing what the white man want us to do. It ain't really about every white man bad, but the people who got the power is the white man. So that's what he wanted us to do.
Exactly. Exactly. And this is not a knock against the brothers who got the skills and chose to go that way. This is a plea. This is a plea that, brother, look at the power that you have. See, 30, maybe 40, 50 years ago, with that same type of power, and you would have been on what Public Enemy was on, or you would have been around during the time of Martin Luther King, man, you would have been the greatest threat to America. But as long as your imagination has been robbed and the only thing you have to offer is what we see every day, then you become one of the greatest benefits for the white power structure. The white power structure, I mean to say. They depend on the black artists to continue to pump the negative image at us. So it's hard to rally. You can't rally niggas to the school board to change the school board's curriculum and how they treat kids. You can't rally niggas to the local stores so we can demand that that we be not only treated better, but that we can funnel our finances and begin to own our stores ourselves, because you can't go to no Arab community and open up stores in their community. And it's a sad thing when other people's control their own community, they control ours, and then we wonder why things continue to look bad for us. We wonder why little Johnny don't care about nothing. We wonder why them brothers don't respect their elders, and they'll be ready to kill or whoop on us at the drop of a dime. That's the reason why. Because they don't see no hope in our community. And it is not the fault of the artist, but you playing into the game. You playing into the desire to keep us bold. Because you can't rally niggas to do nothing. You can only rally black men to change their condition, because men care, niggas don't. We're gonna step to the side for a minute and come back, and me and Derrick Poe got a much more for you. We're gonna talk about nature. Cause you be on that. Flint Town, back at you. Brother D, Derrick Poe, we in this together. Now look, brother, I know you kind of strong on the nature thing, and I consider myself a well-versed student, but I'm kind of lacking about how people return to nature and let nature be big in their life. Why don't you give us some of that knowledge?
Ooh, yeah, that's the most importantest, most thing, everything come after that. Returning back to nature is the first thing you want to do. Why? Because nature was before anything. Nature was here before religion. Nature was here before, like I say, anything. So returning back to nature, I mean, it's a lot, but if you really want to do it, you can do it. Like me, I only eat plant-based foods. Why? Because it comes from nature. When you connect back to nature, then you become who you really meant to be. Our ancestors was connected to nature. So they knew the vibrations of the planet, the vibrations of people. And see, this where they want to keep us blocked down into not connected to nature, because that's when we can't access our spiritual powers. Once you back to nature, then you access your spiritual powers and you be that God, that king that you really truly meant to be. So returning back to nature, it just really, they block us down from a lot of things. The television, this music, the foods that we eat, because it's all about vibration and energy. So the foods that we eat, it's all processed with chemicals. If you look on a lot of foods and look at the ingredients, it say citric acid, lactic acid. I mean, you got to think about, what is this, like acid? You put it into your body. Your body is a temple. So you put it into your body, harming your body, and a lot of people wonder, like, how you get cancer, diabetes, it's all because of the food that we eat. It's nothing, it just comes, it's all about the food that we eat. It's harming our body, which is your temple. You got to take care of your temple. And really think with the music, like how we was speaking earlier about the music, how it's corrupting our minds and all that. They want us to hear these things and not nothing uplifting. Like I say, for us to be the kings and the queens we truly meant to be, so we won't return back to nature. Because once you become that king and that queen, then you start seeing things. You start, your conscience start to rise up. So then you start returning back to nature. And like I say, me, I eat plant-based foods. If it don't grow from nature, I don't eat it. In the tap water today, you can look all this up. Don't just take my word for it. Research yourself. You get your own outlook from it. Because I don't. That's what I tell people. Don't just believe me. You go look for yourself. That's what I want everybody to do. If you're watching this, go look. And everything that we talk about, you go look for yourself. Don't just, oh, okay, they might be right. Just look for yourself and you form your own opinion. You look. In tap water today, it's fluoride. Fluoride is the main chemical that they need. Fluoride is killing the pineal gland. The pineal gland is connected to the third eye. So that's how they really killing us, disconnecting us back from nature. And like I say, with the foods and the music, with television, F-ways, I mean, like, it's a lot of things that's disconnecting us from nature, and they don't give us time to think about it. They got us working as slaves and corporations, not local businesses. They got us working for corporations, and then we don't have time. We got to worry about bills. They putting so much debt on us and so much stuff and stress to have us worrying that we don't have time to think about nature. We don't have time to think about uplifting ourselves, becoming kings and queens. But really, it's just the first step is just really changing you, changing your thoughts and the things that you eat. Because once you change what you eat, everything in your world starts to change. I'm stress-free. You know, I'm illness-free, don't get sickness. If I do get sick, it's easy to cure because it's all about the foods that you eat. It's information in plant-based foods that come from nature. So when you connect back to nature, you know the planets. You get the vibration of the planet. And that's what they don't want us to do. You got to think about it. You go to McDonald's, a burger is $1, but then a salad is $5. See, they want you to eat. They want you to eat the nonsense that they wanted because it's low vibration to keep us low, to keep us stressful, and keep us sick. And that's really the main key to all this. Because the government, we know they messed up, but they falling. They don't have no power over us. So it's not really about what they do. It's just really about you getting yourself right. And that's really the main key concept I'm on, you feel me? It's not really the government. They can do what they want because they gonna fall. They gonna, you know, they gotta pay their consequences. It just really, they want you to stop being you and connecting back with nature.
They come. Now, plant-based food. Give me a couple examples. Give the people watching a couple examples of exactly what plant-based food is.
You know, anything that grows from the ground, like pistachios. You know, that's what my substitute for meat is. And then just apples, oranges, strawberries. You know, anything, vegetables, any fruit and vegetables. You know, it's a lot of things, rice, but it has to be grown natural and organic because it's a difference when you see GMO and natural and organic, because GMO is sprayed with pesticides, sprayed with chemicals. So then you eating food that's affected with chemicals instead of just grown naturally from the ground. So that's one thing you gotta watch out for too when you eat in vegetables. But it's a good start once you start, you know, starting with GMO because you can wash it off, clean it, but it might not be natural. But it's a good start from eating the process and, you know, meat and all those things like that.
So you 20 years old, brother, and you don't eat no McDonald's, Burger King, none of that?
No, sir, none of it.
How long you been on this?
About a year. You know, it was like before I started, it was a balance, because, you know, I ain't gonna say it's an easy step, but if you're willing to take that step, anybody can do it. You can't limit your mind to, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. When you say can't, then that's what you manifest. When you say you can, you got the power to manifest it and start to change slowly and slowly. It's not easy. You can cut down meat at least twice a week too, and then you start trans over. Any way that you can trans over and what you gotta do, that's the way you can do it.
Flint Town, that's a young brother, 20-year-old brothers. See, if we get the right information to our people, man, this is what we can produce, young brothers. And it's the young brothers that our oppressors has always feared. Because what we fail to realize is that Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, all them brothers was in their 20s when they began to become activists, civil rights leaders, and speak up in their community. All the Black Panthers were young men, 20 years old, some even in their teens, stood up and challenged this government, stood up and demanded human rights, stood up and demanded that we receive the proper respect that we should, stood up and demanded that we attempt to do for self. Young black men. This is why the attack is on the young black men. This is why they full of drugs. They keep us flooded with drugs, all type of new stuff, Xannies and Vicodins and all type of stuff, syrup and all this old mess that then flooded our communities. A pharmacy almost on every corner, just like it's a liquor store. And this is by design. It's not a mistake. So don't say, oh, you always blaming somebody else or you always blaming America. You got to understand that they always view us the same way they always did, as their enemy, as niggas. They ain't changed what they think about us. So, if we begin to change our communities, utilize the church for more than just somewhere we come and worship. The church ought to be the school, because it used to be the school. Check your history, you think I'm lying. It used to be against church policy to build a church, a house of worship without a school. It was mandatory. So if we just done those things and brought in the people that we know are capable, able, willing, and care enough to educate our children, then we can start something different. But if we keep going the same way, man, brothers like him would be 1 in a million. When it should be, brothers like him should be in the majority, and those of us and those who think they thugs, killers, and the rest should be in the minority. Our community should be full of people who hate themselves, who willing to destroy themselves. It should be full of young black men that can give you information like this brother just gave. But if we keep going the same route, thinking everything fine, we just trying to get a job and get to where we got to go, man, that ain't what it is. People ask me a long time ago, say, brother, what you mad about? You seem to be making it. Making it where? Making it where? See, because my definition of making it is not the same as the average white guy. This is how you know we done lost our minds. Because you ask a young black boy, a young white boy, what you want to do with your life? And they say the same thing, then you know the young black boy don't see the reality. Because if all he wants is a house and car and all that, then he see himself in the same light as the young white fella, but the world is not the same for him. But, unless you got the right information, you won't be striving to build our nation. You won't be striving. You don't think we need to be liberated. You think we already there. But we're not. And we're going to break again, and we'll be back with some more. Brother D, young Derrick Poe, we in this together. So you working with like Brother D.
Brother Derrick in here. You know, with Brother D, we in this together, bridging gaps to the community. We back at it again. You know, I got a couple questions for Brother D now. He had a couple questions for me. So, what you feel like we can do in the community to change these things? Do you feel like people call you a racist? Do you feel like some people don't see the vision that you see?
Let me deal with the racist thing. I have been called a racist or accused of always blaming white folks. This is what I say to that. I can't be a racist because I can't control where white folks go to school at. I can't control where they live at. I can't control whether they get educated, get jobs or not. I have no power to do nothing to nobody outside my race. So I know I'm not a race, because see, racism is when you got the power to determine other people's destiny. I don't got that. So I don't know too many black men who got the power to control where they go to school, what they learn, if they get jobs, if they can live in this community or not. I don't know any black men or women that had the power to do that, so we not racist. Now, am I prejudiced about certain things? Yeah, I don't like long hair, but that's not the same thing as being a racist. I don't like hard bottom shoes. I don't like people who talk too much. So I have my own prejudices, but I'm not racist. Now the first thing I think we need to do in our community, man, is educate us. We got to be educated differently. And I believe one of the first things we need to do is all the black churches, man, need to step up, begin to be more educated, begin to expand their information base. Because you have a lot of black scholars like Naeem Akbar, Dr. Claude Anderson, Umar Johnson, Dr. Nathan and Julian Hare. They all say the same thing. Dr. Francis Wilson, Louis Farrakhan, many, that part of the way to heal self-hate is to give us the truth about ourselves. But scholars from the white community reject that and always say, let's medicate them. Let's give them medicine if they're struggling. Let's give them this, or let's ignore that. But if you look back in history, our history was one of the main things that they stripped us of. So it must be important. The people who took our history, took our names, took our language, must have knew how important that was to developing the people. They wouldn't have never did it. But they felt that that was required to do to make a good slave. So it must be just as major in developing a new man as it was in making slaves. So if you give him his history, give him the truth about himself, give him the truth about what happened to him in America, and don't be scared to give it to him as it took place, uncut, then you will make a better human. But not only do America reject that, many of our own people reject it too, man. Some of our own pastors around here don't think there's no need to get at the young black men, to get at the brothers. But I'm gonna tell you something. I've been living in this city, living in this world for quite some time now. And I can see the difference between brothers who know who they are, know who they come from, where they come from, know what they up against. They carry themselves with more pride, more dignity than the brother who just don't know. See, I think the difference between the black man and the nigga is one who know, the black man know, the nigga don't know. That's the difference, bro.
I feel like what we need to change in the community is, I mean, first we got to start with the parents, because the parents the one who teaches the kids. We need to fill the parents with the right information, and they shouldn't be hesitant to the information, because a lot of people ain't gonna want to hear it. A lot of people is going, oh no, because it's the truth. And like you say, a lot of people don't want to hear the truth. The truth is raw and uncut. You can't just sugarcoat nothing. You got to tell them straight up what it is. And if they're able to handle that information, then that's when they can grow and become the person who they meant to be. But if they can't handle the information, they're going to still go with society rules, led by society, and still just be uneducated. And that's where a lot of parents fail. And that's what we need our parents to do, is just really step up, equip that right knowledge, and, you know, get it down. So we all can save the community while we can, because it's a lot of killing going on for no reason. The younger generation is getting worse and worse and worse every generation. The generation under me, they got it worse because they don't know this love. They don't know the knowledge. They don't know nothing about the past. They just, and about the, showing the past and the history. They only show us being slaves. They don't ever show us being the kings and queens. We might see pictures here and there, but they don't have movies about this. They don't have documentaries about this because they want you to be that slave. That's all they want you to be, is that black Negro. You don't get to see images. So we really need to, everybody need to study for themselves. Don't just, like I say, take our word for it. Look for yourself. And don't be hesitant to look and really find that truth, because the truth is out here. And it's the information out here. Now it's not hidden like it was a couple years back when I started researching. It's really out here now. So we all just need to study and get that right information and all come with one plan together, so we can all just say the community and ourselves.
That's right. And you know why, young brother? We ain't seeing them images of us being in a positive light, of being kings and queens, or being leaders in our community. Because it's your job, brother. You kick it off. You change the game. Because see, somebody got to do it, and you got to care first. See, one thing about this mission, man, it ain't for the willing. It ain't for those who I guess I will. Man, this right here is for the chosen. You got to be born to do this, because there ain't no reward really for it. You know, you don't get a whole bunch of pats on the back. You don't get a whole bunch of people cheering for you as if you was on stage doing your thing. That ain't what come with this work. Either you chosen for it, born into it, or called to it. Them the only people that last. Because if you go through and you do the study, man, you study some of the, when you get into Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, man, some of their private thoughts. Man, at times, man, they thought, man, this ain't gonna work. Martin Luther King said, man, I've been out here all this time and it don't seem like I'm doing nothing. Because it's not to please everybody. You gotta have a self-contentment, and you gotta have a faith in a supreme being. That's the only thing that'll keep you on this road, man. The scriptures say, the Bible say this about the children of Israel, and it's pertinent to us. It say that they're hard-headed, stiff-necked people, easily led in the wrong way, hard to leave in the right way. Easily embrace their enemies, hard to adopt their friends. So oftentimes, when you come powerful the way we come, like it was a lot of black folks who thought Malcolm X was the enemy to their people. How can you think that? If you go back in history, it was black folks, slaves, that knocked down Nat Turner's insurrection. They went to a plantation, they was going around the plantation. Nat Turner had said he got revealed from God. He looked up in the sky one day and seen black men killing white men, and he said that was his call to lead the slaves to freedom. So he got a band of men, and they went from plantation to plantation, killing whites. They got to one plantation where it was quiet and wasn't nobody around, and Nat Turner said, well, maybe the people already here and handled the business. They heard us coming. So they went to approaching the house, and the master had armed his slaves to go out there and kill the men who came to liberate them. So this is how complicated this mission is, because your own people try to take you out the game, man. They don't recognize they friends, but they love their enemies. Like, for instance, right now, a lot of people say they want to get involved, but they want you to tone it down, or you say that too hard, or leave white people out of it, or don't do this, or don't say that, or you going too hard. All this come up because what it is that they want you to be pleasing to white people. If you a leader, or if you're a community activist, or if you're a voice in the community to many blacks, if you offend white folks, then you considered an enemy to the same people you speaking for. And that's sad. And we also got a part of our history to whereas this is what really changed King around, which made him go in the opposite direction. Here we are in America, with all kind of rights that we can't exercise, can't vote, can't go to school when you want, got to ride at the bus, but you got a certain section you got to sit on the bus, but you got to pay the same fare. You can't stay in certain places, but you got to still pay taxes. So And then when Martin Luther King's movement was nonviolent, some of the same men that marched with him nonviolent went and put on an American uniform and was in the Vietnam War violent, killing. Now here you is, your enemy that sent you to fight. He won't even let you drink water where you want to. But you on the battlefield killing his enemy, then you come home and when your wife and daughter out there marching, you won't even fight for them. This how gone we is. See, but the young brothers ain't like that. Let me school you on one more thing, Flint. This is why self-hate was created so bad. It was a man named Henry Berry in 1832 in Virginia. He said this to Congress. He said that we have closed, shut down every avenue by which light may shine into the mind of the Negro. And he also went on to say that if we continue this work, they will remain on the level of beasts and we will be safe. Meaning that as long as you living like a beast, you'll never be a threat to America. They can do what they want to you. They do you any kind of way. And so they brainwashed us thoroughly. Gave us false religion, false ideas about God, and we trapped all up into that. So we ain't no threat to them. And this is why they had to put us on this level, because it's normal and natural for one day oppressed people to raise up and demand their freedom by the words Malcolm X used, by any means necessary. You don't put no restrictions on how we gonna get justice when you've been oppressed. But if you turn them into self-hate, you make self-hate so big, you make them hate each other so much, when that time comes, they'll be knocking each other off. And this is the time we're living in now. Black men have become the #1 rapists of black women, the #1 killers of themselves. We'll do sometime, boy, if you ain't got no conscience or no spirit in you, no religion, no God, no faith, no belief in nothing, you'll do almost anything to a brother look like you. And this is why that was done. So when the time, see, this generation, these young black men was born into this world to lead us to freedom, brother. That's why they don't fear nothing. That's why they ain't scared. That's why they don't care about this society no more. In fact, some of our own leaders are trying to lead this generation to places they don't want to go. They don't give a damn about no integrated schools. They don't give a damn about school, period. Unless you give them one that address their needs. But instead of trying to create something new, you're trying to lead them to places that they already done told you. We hate this shit. We don't want this no more. That's why we don't go. This generation was born to lead us to freedom. But we wasn't wise enough to understand, but the power structure was wise enough to understand. We got to give them false images. We got to play on that self-hate, so they'll just shoot the man across from them. They won't do it to us. And then you drown out the voices. See, America put Al Sharpton and some of these other clowns as our leaders. And those real soldiers, like Derrick Pope, Brother D, and we local. We ain't comparing ourselves to Minister Farrakhan and Jeremiah Wright and Umar Johnson. But we down here, brothers, doing what y'all doing at the top. And this is why. Because you got thugs out there. You got thugs out there whom the society uphold, where you can't hear this young brother, where you can't hear Brother D. But those days about to change. We're going to step to the east and come back and conclude this. One time, Brother D, Derrick Poe, we in this together. Flint time, we back at you, man. We're gonna wrap this segment up, man. We just sitting here giving you some views. But let me tell you where I'm at with mine, man, and why we do this. I don't do this to be heard, seen. I do this because it's in my blood. I do this because I'm Lizzie Cannon's grandson. I do this because, man, it's hard for me to keep seeing us live like this. It's hard for me to know the information and not say be quiet. It's hard for me to know what's going on and turn a deaf ear to it and act like I don't care, man. And I'm gonna tell you something else, Flint. I vow with my life that no circumstances will make me sell out. See, I ain't like some of these brothers. See, we love those brothers that take pledges downtown. They go downtown and pledge to uphold the city charter, or like our president pledged to uphold the Constitution, but never had to make a pledge to their community. So today I make a pledge that I never sell out black youth. I never put our sisters out there like they sluts, hoes, and bitches. That'll never come from Brother D. And I never, ever compromise the truth. Now let's Derrick Pope put an end to this, and we're gonna holler at y'all next time.
Well, I do this, like I say, it's in my heart, it's in my blood. I hate to see my people perish for the lack of knowledge. I mean, I know some will, but it is a chosen few. And so when you get that calling, your calling is to get that chosen few that's meant to be pulled up out of here. And it's I got too much knowledge, and really, I ain't gonna say I know everything, but that's how I feel. Like, I know enough to make us kings and queens of who we truly are.
Oh, who the fuck are you? I'm the guy who does his job. You must be the other guy.
Final chapter, age of construction. Living in times where it's age of destruction. Hard to function every day, somebody busting. I'm steady fighting with myself, overcoming. Striving hard by any means. Reality ain't real life, it's just a fake dream. I'm so connected to the spirit, started at 18. I learned what's real and what really being fake mean. Learned a lot and so little war through the years. Just turned 20, but got wisdom that'll last for years. Remember days when I was broke and I was shattered tears. I stayed strong in my last and I challenged fears. At the stage in my life, everything changing. Every day another place in a vacation. Gotta head back to home, to the destination. We all trapped in hell, only if you escaping. So it ain't if I get a deal to get a meal. It's if I get to heaven, shit, that's how I feel. I ain't waiting on Jesus, I'ma keep it real. I'm the savior of myself, that's how a king feel. Life's so fake, but my dreams real. The driver fell asleep, I had to grab the wheel. My flow confidential, it can get me killed. But my flow like medicine to get you healed. Hard, but I'm gonna find my way home. When people die, they spirit, it ain't gone. So death like a trip to your way home. Depends how you live when you away gone. Hope to touch people with the spoken voice. Uplift you if you down, give a person choice. Karma come around, make a better choice. That's why half either dead or living in a joint. People only come around in the limelight, cause when you got the shine, they just wanna shine bright. Never come around when shit get tight, but I can't complain cause the shit life. All my life, I was raised around thug niggas. Lost souls, we just looking for some love, nigga. Cause when you reach out, be friend and plug niggas. Niggas two-faced and mess up the trust with you. Yeah, it all seems crazy. Kids getting raised with a mother, not a father. The start of something good, and he can't be a part of. Broken like a glass if it's what you made your heart of. Yeah, I make music for the soul. I'm a young little naga, but I feel so old. I done seen the toughest battles, so I feel so strong. I be high off of life, and I feel so gone. Take a hit of this. Memory lane make you sit and reminisce. Life in jail is a bitch, but when you in that cell, you away from bullshit. I'm on two different planets. Life tomorrow, it ain't always granted. You gotta get to it, cause nothing come handy. But you can get anything, just gotta have balance. Constantly roaming through my environment, seeing nothing going good, but I'm desiring. Constantly roaming through my environment, seeing nothing going good, but I'm desiring to make a change in and out the rap game. Nobody in my league, we don't rap the same. Show the kids the real way, that's what we lacking. That's why every day our people stay subtracting. mistakes. Fell off for a minute, now I'm doing great. Gotta do it big like some 28s. Make a jump like I started doing in the 80s. Now I'm on chill, time to swallow my road. Only thing that's my focus, get my money long. Do it for my niggas that ain't head gone. Life in the struggle, got me focused with my head on. Look, big headed, you can't tell me nothing. Everybody turn gangster like they forced to study. 9 to 5 is something, but it's better hustling. Quicker ways to get paid, the love of money. It's fucked up, people use us to make their money. Hospital full of patients, love to tell you something. They got the cure for AIDS, but they won't say you something. They get you sicker and sicker, tell the devil I'm coming. Look, it's my life, not rap music. Used to be that nigga banging, making all that trap music. But this ain't rap, it's like I found my soul. Reality hits when you down and always on your own. Responsibilities got me feeling grown. Try to do right in a place where everything wrong. And I'm a menace to society, Illuminati with my soul, all up in my artery. Looking at light, trying to make a difference. Looking at light, still tripping, everything different. When everybody said this, I wish I would've listened. Still ain't getting fucked by school, so I ain't pay attention. Look, they say work, but I'm a ball first. Cause I'm the one who jumped out and got the balls first. And I'ma keep on going when it all hurts. Ain't worry about falling, cause it all works. When you got the man in the better plan. Whole city fucked up, time to take a stand. They won, and still turn on this man. Keep it real all I can, that's just who I am. Remember one thing, keep your head up. Trust nobody, love God and get your bread up. Hey, and don't be greedy, get your hand cut. And don't be fake if you a bitch, nigga, man up. Look, everybody ain't for the street. Just like niggas talk, but they ain't ready for the beat. Look, ain't nobody out here trying to eat, but I ain't tripping cause this food not on my plate. By the time you catch up, you already late. I'm doing 180, that mean I'm doing straight. Still ain't forget, RIP the tape. Fucked up, that's your daughter, can't see her face. Fucked up, we come to earth, just to lose our life. It's my life, and I feel like I lived it twice. Rolling like a gamble, straight on dice. Can't get caught slipping, straight on ice. My environment is fucked up. All the bitch niggas lucked up. Leaving little niggas touched up. So I'm solo rolling Dutch up. I'm just caught up in the maze, daydreaming out of space. Catch me in the days when I smoke loud, see all my powers fade. Feel like an animal locked in a cage. Look, and I'm being unleashed, a beast who know no pop back on the speak. Repeat, cause what I spit is real and unique. I speak, nigga, I ain't even need to be. And look, talk to him like a rebel. Got a lot of answers, but I'm bringing you the message. This for everybody who be down and who be stressing. Karma find his way, so I hope you learn your lesson. Look, and I ain't waiting on no blessing, I'm waiting on the hot to send me my direction. Hey, and for them niggas disrespecting, sneaky and I reckon, so don't think you wanna test us. Movie scripts on the director, get rid of actors, don't need no extras. Look, real niggas in the section, real niggas prosper, fake niggas are jesters. Look, to a situation, you fake it or you won't go on last if you make it. The top spot is taking all these problems that I'm facing. A legend in the making, it appears I how I take it.
When I was growing up, ain't had much, but always enough. Mama made it every time, but it still was tough. I was out thugging these streets with some killers that bust. Another victim to society, don't know who to trust. Had dreams to do this rap, thugged out with my niggas. Low straps, shooting craps, I had to plan to get skriller. Then I started coming to man and everything got realer. Found God and found out, ain't no less shit is sticking. One day looked at myself, thought about me some shit. At the time when it died, man, I been by my shit. Don't gang baby from the hood, so I'm gon' represent. Cause where I came from, dog, I never forget. Was tryna do the dirty money, now my money legit. I be laughing at some niggas who be claiming some shit. They never did and never will, man, I swear like some bitch. But I know I'm gon' be straight if I go remember this. Life is only what you make it. I'm saying, it's real, it's real, it's real. They say when you living real fast, you bound to get killed. Corrupted generation, and I don't know how to feel, Imagining having them dreams, I'm focused on the meal. Sometimes I feel like just giving up, I really don't give a fuck. I'm hoping I get some luck, I don't know who to trust, I don't know who gon' bust. Looking at life like what, and where I came from, trying to get my game up, left the trap game, but addicted to the streets, addicted to these hits. I swear it's all I see, all of my cousins did it. You talking but I meant day. To everybody waiting on that better day. Believe in yourself and you can make a way. Never depend on people, cause they fade away. To everybody who ain't make the see today. To everybody waiting on that better day. Believe in yourself and you can make a way. Never depend on people, cause they fade away. Living above the line in this life of sin. Walk and go in my shoes and see this life I'm in. I'ma tell you how it started and how it's not gon' end. I'ma live forever, cause I got to win. My head on focus, cause I know it can be a better day. No need to trap or toe the strap, I found a better way. Fed out of love with the woman they call Mary J. Higher than ever as I levitate and meditate. I miss my people, but I know things happen for a reason. I can't worry about another, by yourself you leave it. I put my hand on the game and I got to reach it. I put my hands on the game and I got to teach it. To everybody who ain't making the see today. To everybody waiting on that better day. Believe in yourself and you can make a way. Never depend on people, cause they fade away. To everybody who ain't make the see today. To everybody waiting on that better day. Believe in yourself and you can make a way. Never depend on people, cause they fade away. On my road to glory, all I know is victory. Trying to leave my mark, go and accomplish history. Stand up on my 2 feet, claiming this victory. Can't let the devil or these little niggas get to me. Money ain't shit to me, cause I never had nothing. So when you go and get it, stay humble like you had something. Ain't nobody perfect, so I never point my finger judging. Flying like a bee and like a bee, I'm finna have it buzzing. Ain't no more stressing, cause I made it. Yeah, I sing the top, rapping for the love. Ain't tripping if I get a deal or not, cause I'm so straight. Ain't too many got that feel I got, but let's keep it real. Ain't too many got that skills I got. To everybody who ain't making the see today. To everybody waiting on that better day. Believe in yourself and you can make a way. Never depend on people, cause they fade away. To everybody who ain't make the see today. To everybody waiting on that better day. Believe in yourself and you can make a way. Never depend on people, cause they fade away. Negative intentions everywhere I go. The pastor steady preaching, he just selling hope. Kids going crazy if you tell them no. Niggas trying to live off of selling dope. Everywhere I look ain't nothing going good. Niggas still lost trying to claim a hood. If I can go back, then I would. But where I'm at today, I don't think I should. Homeless people begging, standing on the streets. It's enough food so we can all eat. It's enough room so we can all sleep. Government trying to make us all weak. But little do they know, I'm too strong. Natural ass hot, I'm too gone. Connect back to nature to the tombstone. Never got a question if they do wrong. Old school soul, I'm so unique. Trying to find it out, I'm on a quest to see. Young girls, young age, seeing pregnancy. Young dude, no father, he ain't ready, see. So she end up growing up a single parent. He living fast, so he taking chances. Gambling with his life left him stranded. Everybody like different circumstances. Know you feel it in your soul, it's that soul music. I never write it, I let my soul do it. I don't dumb down my raps, my flow ain't stupid. My flow like a hard blow, yes I make music. Cause when I look around, the game steady changing. Every rapper who come out probably gang banging. Or talking nonsense, brain ain't thinking. They in it for the love of the big Franklins. Every time I look, it's always something on the news. Talking this and that, but you don't get the clue. These rich motherfuckers getting rid of you. Life is a game and it's critical. Got cures for the ill, but they leave you sick. Gotta sell your soul to get big rich. Can't replace me, that's a misfit. Bet I'm top 10 on his list. Tell you go to school, get an education. I ain't learned nothing about the shit I'm facing. Journey up through hell and I'm escaping. Sick ass niggas having thoughts of raping. Sick ass souls on this planet Earth. Better figure out what your life worth. Whole generation living in a curse. Getting took out, riding in a hearse. When I look around, I see a big difference. They, them, she, her, and I'm real different. I was sent on earth for a real mission. Even if I die, they'll still listen. But I'm living life to make it last forever. Head on right, ready for whatever. Take it day by day, and it's better. Here's another story closing out this letter.